Hello and welcome to Kudon Knife You Don't Need, a division of Wooden What You Don't Need. And today we are going to compare the Japanese knife Higonokami with the French knife Doug-douk. Well, for starters, they look similar, don't they? There are people who say, oh, the Higonokami is the Japanese version of the French Opinel. Yeah, I can see why they say it. They're both simple yet very high quality knives. But you tell me if the Higonokami resembles more the Doug-douk. On the channel there are dedicated reviews to both the Higonokami and the Doug-douk. Go check them out. They are by no means precise reviews. There's a lot of disordered chatting going on, but still, you can have a better look at both knives in those reviews. Today we will watch them side by side. Let's check the construction materials. We have folded steel for the handle on the Doug-douk, and we have folded steel on the handle for the Higonokami. They're both quite similar even in color, even though the Higonokami, the original version, I think it comes with a brass handle. But these two that I happen to have at home, they look quite similar. Now the blade on both of these models is a carbon steel blade. I have the basic version of the Higonokami, and I have been told that this is a sandwich construction carbon steel, meaning that it has an inner core of harder steel for better edge retention, sandwiched between two layers of softer steel for being less prone to breaking. None of these knives is a locking knife. The Doug-douk, it was a spring action knife. There is a spring in the back that keeps it open, but of course there's no locking mechanism, so you apply a bit of force and you can fold it to 90 degrees, and then you fold it back and it's folded. Whereas the Higonokami is a friction folder, so no spring whatsoever. You just open it with two hands and you can use the help of this chikiri here, this bit of metal here, and this is your open knife. Just friction in this pivot point here, and that's all that keeps the knife open. Both knives are quite light, and let's check their weights. The Doug-douk, 38 grams. What about the Higonokami knife? 31 grams, so lighter. The length of both these models, I think this is the smallest version, well, the small version of the Higonokami. I think that there are even smaller versions like keychain size, but out of the three most common sizes, this is the smallest one, and it has a length of approximately 9 centimeters plus the chikiri, or in inches. 3 inches and a half, a bit more than 3 inches and a half. So they both have something sticking out of their backs. One has the loop here to attach some kind of lanyard, and the other one has the chikiri to help the opening process. So they're both light, less than 40 grams. They're both quite small. Let's talk about thickness. So the Doug-douk is 5.5 mil thick, and the Higonokami is 5.8, extremely similar. The price, you know what? I absolutely don't remember how much I paid the Doug-douk. This was 6-7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago in France. I bought it here in the city of Thiers, where the Doug-douk originated from. It was invented by knife makers of this famous knife town, which is Thiers in the middle of France. So I don't remember its price. I would be lying. Maybe I'll put a link in the description box, or maybe I'll put some information in the description box saying how much these go for these days. The Higonokami, I paid this on Amazon. I think it was $16.99. You know those prices. 17 euros. I don't know in dollars how much that would translate. Maybe 17 bucks approximately. But you know, prices vary according to the continent and to the season of the year. These are both beautiful knives with a history behind them. The Higonokami knife has its roots in the katana sword making tradition. The Doug-douk has the history linked to the colonial territories of France in the early 20th century. When you own these, you own a small piece of history. They're not made of premium space age steel. They don't have fancy locking mechanisms, but they have a lot of charm. I have two Doug-douks. The more pristine one belongs to my wife, who maybe has never used it. This one belongs to me. You can see that the decorations on the blade have almost vanished. I bought these in their hometown, whereas I wish I had bought the Higonokami in its own hometown, because that would mean that I had been to Japan, but not yet. Japan, I am coming. Nihon e ikitai desu yo. I want to go to Japan. One day I will. The Higonokami as the beautiful box that confirms its originality. So it's marked Higonokami, made by Nagao Kaikoma, master knife maker who has the brand name of the Higonokami. The Doug-douk did not came with a box. It's a very simple knife. It came in, well, this paper, which I am still keeping after all these years. And so this has been a quick comparison between the Higonokami Japanese knife, traditional folding knife, and the Doug-douk traditional French folding knife. And I'll see you on the next of Kudung Knife You Don't Need.